Hello and welcome back. So last time we set up stone smelting, and as you can see here it's all been running. So to get that working I had to set up a quarry. At the end of the last episode I was umming and ahhing. There's a nice stone patch here. This is the one I did hook in. To get that hooked in I had to do a bit of rerouting. So this train track, which is the big east to west one going out to the wall, went right through the stone patch, and you know, that's fine. There was no point when I initially put it down caring. Now that I want to mine that stone out, it does become an issue. So I needed to move the track up and down again, and to do that actually required me to make a couple of new track blueprints. Here we are. So this is the one that goes up this way, and of course it doesn't work here, which is a little bit annoying. So there's a corresponding back down again. Okay, there you are. So I will be adding those two into my next revision of the rail blueprint, and it occurs to me that they would have actually been the blueprints I needed for the coal. Okay, there's a zigzag here, which I did messily by hand. Yeah, and I should have actually designed it properly. I could have done it with this. Of course, I'm off by a tile here, but you get the idea. I may actually need different ones for going horizontal and vertical. I don't know. That lines up. That lines up. Yeah, so I think I must have put this. Yeah, I put that down by hand. Anyway, you can see this would have lined up roughly there, and so on there. That's what I should have done. I wasn't patient enough at the time of doing this. I will probably come back and remake that. So what else is there to see at the quarry? Okay, I set up my standard stacker. Not that this will ever be needed, but I feel better if they're all done the same way. And then the train can come in here. There's actually room for another ore train to stack in this segment. So if we ever get to the point where we need loads and loads of trains stacked up here, that's fine. If we ever get to the point where there's not enough throughput, I'll replace this 8 to 8 balancer with an 8 to 16, and we will load on both sides of the train. Okay, so that's that really. This just stops. There are other resources down in this corner that we may want. There's a 39 million iron, there's a 27 copper, 23 copper. There's actually uranium, another 30 million there, another 30 million stone if we run now on stone. So I can imagine bringing this line down further and just yoinking more of these resources. At some point I may set up a uranium outpost which just makes fuel. You can see some red still on the map here. This is left over from cleaning. We don't have enough radar coverage here to mark the squares as clear. Is something shooting? I hope something is shooting that. Yeah, it's coming from the bottom. It would be nice if there was a research to increase the rate at which the shells move. But anyway, there you are. So, ooh, that's real. Kill that worm. There's a worm. There's a worm. Check, it is a worm. Yeah. But very occasionally you find a lone biter, but there's only the one or the two of them, so there aren't enough to form a new nest, which is lucky, really. Okay, so anyway, enough of that. We're here and we need to decide what to build next. So we've just done stone bricks, and the temptation then is to immediately build your furnaces next door. That means the stone brick trains are just hopping one segment on the backbone. There's probably a great big maths optimization problem here where you minimize the total distance traveled by trains, where basically for each site you look at the resources it consumes in terms of number of train journeys and the resources it produces in the number of train journeys. Then you organize the different sites so that you minimize the number of trains passing each site. There's probably a neat little optimization trick there, which overall would minimize the amount of traffic and would also minimize the amount of crossing over of traffic. Anyway, for now I'm using the rule of thumb that I'm doing the highest volume things first, and when there's choices, I'm doing the things which can consume stuff that's already been produced. So, why are we making furnaces? Okay, so furnaces are consumed by production science. Production science itself takes 14 seconds, takes an electric engine and a stone furnace. Sorry, an electric furnace. So it basically doesn't take in very much material. 2 trains, 1 item per cycle, that's very low volume. So the electric furnace, this one takes 5 seconds to build, takes in 10 steel, 10 brick, 5 circuits. So that's quite hungry. So if we weren't doing any improvements on speed at all, that would be, for every 1 furnace machine, we would be consuming a quarter of a blue belt of steel and a quarter of a blue belt of bricks. Okay, and an 1/8 of a blue belt of red circuits, just to support a single furnace maker without any upgrades of beacons and modules. Right, the other thing here was electric engines. Okay, electric engines take 10 seconds to build. Remember, this took 5 seconds. 10 seconds to build. And it requires 2 circuits and 1 electric engine unit and some lube. So ignore the lube. It's just not going to consume a measurable quantity of fluid. We're into this. It's consuming more. Its consumption is somewhere intermediate between blue circuits and batteries. Excuse me. Other than that, 2 electric circuits, 1 engine unit. That's nothing. And those engine units, 1 steel, 1 gear, 2 pipe over 10 seconds. The gears, I believe, take 2 plates, the pipes take 1, so that's 1 steel, 4 iron plate. So again, that's pretty, over 10 seconds, that's pretty irrelevant. So the engines, the electric engines, don't need that one, can be made pretty much anywhere, and we don't have to worry about the number of trains, either going in or coming out. This one, however, every 5 seconds it's using 25 units of input to produce 1 unit of output. So that's 5 units per second before you've speeded anything up. This is just 2 units every 14 seconds. Right, so it's clearly the furnaces we need to build next. Okay, so let's work out what our build is going to be. Furnace. Now, we can't productivity module this because it is an item that you can place on the ground. That's a little frustrating. But we can beacon it, so let's start by beaconing it. And we have the option of, let's start with a close beacon setup, and we will expand it out if we find that we need to. Okay. Okay, so that's a build. For now, let's power it up with a couple of poles. Now, what I want to do is find out at what speed it's consuming materials. Because I don't know how many input chests we're going to need. We might need 2 or even 3. So let's find out. Okay, so if this was running full speed with this setup, it would need 0.6 stack inserters to supply the steel and 0.6 to supply the brick and 0.3 to supply the electric circuits. Now, the electric circuits plus either one of those is just under 1 stack inserter. but we definitely need at least 2 stack inserters feeding this material. So that means, unfortunately, best case scenario, we need 2 providers. And I have a feeling this isn't actually going to work because, particularly if you're pushing in a lot of items to an assembler, if you have 2 types of item in the box, then it has a tendency to starve it for the lower volume item. Because the higher volume item is constantly being dropped off into the box, the lower volume item tends to be pushed down the stacks within the box, and the stack inserter tends to always pick up from the top stack. If it's got a choice of 2 things to pick up, it'll pick up the top one. So then it tends to run out of the other one. So what we could do is, let's get a blueprint. Right, we're going to grab the top of this and move it up 1 square. I'm winging this. I've never built this before, so we will see how it goes. Okay, that's the top of my build. I'm going to move it out 1 square. Cool. Okay, then we will have 1 input and 1 output at the bottom. This is going to be the red circuit. Can we power it up from there? Okay, I'm going to... Yeah, we'll do that. So... There we are. So that's fully powered. We now have 2 squares at the top, which means I can use a substation to power this. We can get rid of all these annoying poles. Yep, that's cool. So then what we're going to do is feed it from either side. Okay, and so we'll feed it the high volume items from here, and then we'll feed it the red circuits from the bottom. Now that's not ideal. Ideally you would have the high volume items at the bottom to reduce travel time. There's no reason why we shouldn't do it that way around. Now that we've got the substation. Okay, and then we'll just feed it from one side with red circuits. And then, because we're doing this, we can have alternate ones sharing the red circuit box to cut down on the number of boxes. That's probably smart. Let's do it like this for a second. I will duplicate this build. There we are. Okay. Now I have run into UPS issues before where shared boxes end up being a UPS crash because the inserters are fighting over what to take from it. So I don't know. I think err on the side of caution for now. We'll just have them have their own unique boxes, and then later on, if there's a UPS issue, we will try and fix it. Okay, so I've copied over the recipe to each of those. I'm going to delete all items but one. So this is going to be the steel, this is going to be bricks. Okay, this is going to be the output, and I'm going to cap it at 2 stacks of output. And I think that's our build. Okay, so compared to belt builds, where I would still be fiddling around with the very first one, trying to figure out how to get 3 materials in, this is vastly quicker for the design, I think. And then I think we'll only need substations on alternate builds. Okay. So let's take that and give it a memorable icon. Let's take this out. And then remember, our standard build width is 13. Oop. Obviously didn't do enough cleaning. Let's try again. Okay, that can go, that can go. Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's check that I've counted up to 13 correctly. Yes, I have.
Dad.
Hello.
So I was coming here to tell you that I finished my words.
You finished your words and
I did.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
do love hearts when I'm upside down.
You can do love hearts when you're upside down.
When the paper's upside
That is incredible. Okay. So now you all know.
Yeah.
Right, so there's let's grab a stack of these. Oh, that's probably the wrong way around to do it. Let's grab lots of beacons. Okay, and more beacons. Because what I'm going to look at next is what happens if you add speed beacons into the build. I've got a feeling it's not really necessary. I've got a feeling that this is already going to make quite a lot of the items. Okay, so then substations. Yeah, I think substations will go on alternate builds. There we are, that's quite nice. Not even alternate, it's every third. Pretty cool. Okay, we've run out of stack inserters, but that doesn't matter. So what is the speed of this? Items per minute. Okay, so this consumes 13k of steel and of bricks, nearly 7k of reds, and produces 1.3k of furnaces. Okay, I've got a feeling that may well be sufficient for all my furnace needs. So we'll start off with one of these and set up all the trains. If it runs low, if we're backing up, if we're running dry on furnaces, I'll just add a second, third row of that and then 2, 3 on the other side. But I think that's my build. So hang on. The high-tech science was in practice producing 3k packs for its build. This, we're going to need 3 or 4 of these to match that speed. So we are going to need a full build of this. It'll be turned off sometimes. Okay. I'm not going to grab all the materials to build this because it's going to need to be deconstructed in a minute. And anyway, we need to find a template for this site. So it is a 3 materials in, 1 material out build. Do we have any like that? This is 3 in, 1 out. Yep, so I think we'll take this as a template. Just double check. This has 1, 2, 3, 4 inputs and 1 out. No, that's not what we need. We need 3 in 1. That's 2 and 1. This is 2 and 1. This is 3 and 1. Okay, so we'll take this as a template. Okay, so we need to start down here somewhere. That's it. Across and up. That looks like a good template. I am going to take out all the machines, boxes, What else do we want to get rid of? Beacons. Inserters. Right, I think I want to take out all the power poles, and I'm going to manually put back in these things because these are kind of important. If you can hear rustling noises in the background, that is my darling daughter pretending to be invisible. Okay. So we have our fuel supply and our bot supply here. Yeah, I think that's the template. Let's give this a memorable icon. So this is 3 in, 1 out. Keep the station names. Keeping the station names is a bit scary, but we'll do that. Okay. Now I can drive around with this train. And hopefully everything will get built as we go. Right. So you can talk out loud, Mina, if you want to. No, out loud, because people can't hear you if you whisper. Yes, this is my train. Right, round we drive. That's the whole way. Let's come up here and reverse through. I'm actually out of track. Let's get some more track. Right, while we're here, let's rename the stations. I think that's everything. Okay, so this was named low density plastic. This is going to be electric furnace stone brick. This was low density structured copper. This is going to become electric furnace steel. This was low density steel. This is going to become advanced circuits. This was low density structures. This is going to be electric furnace. So that's the station setup.
Is that your train?
This is my train, yes.
Why is it got figures in it?
Why has it got pictures of things in it?
Figs.
Those are the things which the train is carrying.
Why is it going backwards and forwards?
Because I'm driving it backwards to get it out of the way, because I'm about to put some other things there.
And forwards.
Yep, and forwards. I've parked it there. Okay. So I am going... There was one other thing I wanted to look at, which is what happens if you do this and you put speed modules in everything. Alright, so let's... I don't think it's worth it. I don't think we actually need that much build. Right, give this the yellow icon again. Right, so the mouse is on the middle, and this, if we zoom in, this signal here is in the middle.
Why is there red and green?
Which bits are red and green? Why don't you point?
If you put them in there, they're red. If you put it in there, it's green.
Good spot. So the red and the green are red when it can't be put down there, and green when it can be.
Where are you going to put it?
I'm going to put it here. And then I'm going to put 2 more behind it. 1, 2. What is 1 add to 2? Can you remember? Do you need
3.
That's right, 3. So I've put 1 add to 2 is 3 on the bottom, and 1 add 2 is 3 on the top. So that is our build, I think. So it's now a question of bringing the train around. We need to add in the missing boxes. We're going to need logistics supply. Thank you, autosave. There we are. We are going to need power, and I figure out what's wrong with the power. So there's no power on here or here. None there. I think we must be missing a power pole continuing up. Okay, so let's rip this up. And figure out what's wrong with this power pole. So there should be one here, I think. That's it. And it should have lights, so I'm going to put it back in just for completeness. And it should have wires. I'm not sure if I'll need the wires, but I'd rather put them in and then not need them than not have them and spend several hours trying to track down whether a wire is missing. Right, let's go back, get our train. I'm going to bring this one through because it has all the things we need to build on it. Put it on manual. Okay. So, I think we have all the assembly machines. No, we don't even have all of those. Let's start with that. Okay, then we're going to need all of these. Okay, that's all the assembly machines down. I can put the rest back. I need all the inserters and boxes. Okay. Ah, there we go, just spam them down. So we need more inserters. We probably need more blue boxes because I don't have any in my inventory. We're actually out of inserters. Okay. This is a very inserter heavy build. Wow. Okay. Yet more beacons. I'm going to have to send this train back, I think. We need beacons and inserters. That's it. Yeah, that's the last of the beacons. Is that it? I think that is all the beacons. I don't... No, it isn't. I don't trust it because I don't have any left in my inventory. Okay, and we've got power issues here. Yeah, this is cross-linking. Don't know if it is on this side. No, it's not. So I think we're okay there. Okay, this train is going to have to go back home. And then we're going to add on to their... maybe we don't have a pack set up. Let's go down and find out. Yeah, this is called low density structure packs, which is no good. We're going to rename this to electric furnace. Okay, and I've lost that train now. I wish there was a better way of grabbing trains. So it's the construction train. Electric furnace packs, circuit condition. Delete those two. Okay, the solar train is off on its merry way. That's on its way home. Alright. How are we doing with the solar? Okay, we've got some cliffs that need removing. What else? This all looks fairly built. Okay. And there. Right, let's put down the print again to fill this. There we go. Okay, this is where some cliffs were, so we've got to... let's wait for that to get cleared before we restamp. Okay, then down here, there's a lot of land filling that needs doing, which doesn't seem to have been done. We have line of sight. Yeah, and a lot of it is within construction range. So I don't know why it isn't being put down. I'll have a look at that between episodes, see if it's due to something nefarious. Okay, and then we're out of radar coverage here, so let's try and fix that. Well, that was a single chunk that I had for just a moment. Would have been perfect. Okay, let's lose that panel and put down a radar in its place. Yeah. Okay, we've now got Have we got coverage of this? Okay, we need better radar coverage here. This still hasn't been built. Okay, there are items here. There's only one active construction bot, so I wonder if something got broken in the logistics network. Let's have a look. No, this seems to all be covered, so I don't know why this isn't building. Let's have a look. Okay, well, I want that gone. I want these gone. Okay, I want all of this gone. And I've got a feeling this isn't tall enough to fit in, and you... No, I didn't. Okay. So where is this train? Oh, it's on its way back. That's good. So we need stack inserters and beacons, and then we're going to have to put down loads and loads and loads and loads of speed modules. And then this site should be done. Then we can take a trip back to main base, fire up some trains. Fingers crossed, if we fire up trains, we should start making these furnaces. Okay, are you nearly here? Yep, it's just coming along. Here we are. Okay, so I want inserters. I think that is it. Yeah, I think that is it for inserters. Next we need beacons and speed mods. Okay, our inventory is quite full of rail, so let's get rid of all of that. Right, grab all the speed mods we can carry. Yep. And let's go up here. I think that's it. Great. So let's check on this. So this station is active, but not powered. So this needs to be powered, and it needs to be powered independently of the rest of the build. Okay, there's power to there. There's now power to there. Okay, the radar. Okay. Is there. Great. Then we need to deal with boxes. So the simple ones are the fuel. that's those. And if we go to the far end, that's it. That's all the fuel. Let's just check. Yep. We need to drop in some logistics bots to get the site started, to supply fuel and to supply logistics bots. Right, what's the next thing? We need to work out how many inserters we need for the train stations. So, stack inserters. Okay, so we need 4.1 for the red circuits. We have 8 carriages, so that's fine. So that's 1 unload per carriage.
Can you, boss? Can you come up when you do that?
Hmm.
Come down.
Yeah.
Until my legs, because we're going to show my mum how to stand on her head.
Okay, so after this, I'm going downstairs so that Mina can show her mum how she can stand on her head. Okay, so 4 stack inserters for the green circuits, and the green circuits, yeah, it's this one. Okay, so that is going to be, we've got 8 carriages, so 1 unload per carriage is fine. Let's blueprint this because we're going to have to put this down a bunch of times. Okay, don't need that one anymore. Let's just make this up. Okay, so I think I'd rather get this roughly consistent. Where are we? Okay. Okay, we're going to need 8.2 for steel. So in practice that would be slightly more than 1 per carriage, so it needs 2 per carriage. Is that right? I think I'm going to do it the other side just for evenness. Okay. And then the same for, where's it gone? The same for bricks. There we are. Then we need 0.8 pickups. Okay. So we just need 1 requester. Okay, so if we set the request on this to furnaces, they stack in 50. So 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 per row, 5,000, 2,000. So 2,000 per box, per train carriage. So let's set this request to 2K. We could fill up this row, but I don't bother. You tend to get extra items delivered, which overflows a single stack, and round numbers around. Okay. So I think if we now take this, we can now put this down, hopefully, 2, 4, 6, 8. Right, so the next bit of work we need to do is to make sure that we can count the number of items here. Okay, and then up onto there. Then that sends the count through to this combinator. So whenever the number of furnaces falls below 2,000, we want to turn this site on. Whenever it is 16,000, we want to turn it off. There we are. So it's currently on, but missing the power pole that links it. Okay, how are we doing now? So these are complaining they're not within drone because these drone ports here are not powered up. Let's look at the map. I want to have a look at the electric circuit. Okay, so we're fine on the top. The bottom one, let's see what happens. Ah, I'm out of substations. Okay, let's grab some of them. I don't know if we... No, I'm going to leave those in. We could probably get away with fewer substations, but I can't be bothered to try and wrangle them. Oh, there they are. Okay. Okay, so if we put a substation there, that's fine. If we put one, yeah, that's fine.
Why is it blue?
Why is it blue?
And purple.
Well, the blue tells you where the electricity reaches.
What does the purple mean?
Ah, so I think we can actually move all these substations to the middle. Let's do that. Except for the final one. Okay, yeah, that powers everything. There, and there, and there. Okay, let's see how that works. So we had a green wire going from here. Does it reach all the way? Yeah, it does. And does this reach all the way to there? Yes, it does. There we are. Okay, so having put all this down, we've now realized that we have misbuilt this. There isn't the roboport range to get to the third row. So let's... And there's missing power to there. That can be fixed with a small pole. There we are. Alright, so we're going to rip up that third row. Seems a bit of a shame. But as I say, this site is probably already over capacity. Let's find out if it is over capacity. Alright, can we pick up any more things? I still have some drones which are not used, so let's change suit to one where I can use more drones. Then more drones can pick things up even if they can't put things away again. Okay, down we go. I can put some inserters back. Speed modules. And beacons. Actually can't put beacons back. Okay, let's grab the rest. Okay, so this is our slimmed down build, the one which actually has logistic coverage. Okay, we have some random things. Okay, that was one I set up for blueprinting. Here we have some power problems. This switch is no longer powered. now it is. Okay, that'll do. This is not powered. Now it is. Great. So what is the production on this then? Right, let's try once more. Stack filter inserters. Okay, so it reckons it needs... Wow, I'm wondering if I've done the numbers wrong on this. So it reckons it needs 16 inserters, just over 16 for the green, for the red circuits, 32 for the steel, 32 for the brick. I've done this before where I've picked up the wrong inserter. Okay, yeah, so this says 16 for reds. So I need 3 inserters per carriage for that. No, yeah, 32 for 32 point something for steel, 32 point something for brick. I think I put in the numbers for a single build. Yeah, I've done it for a single build, and now I've got 4 of them. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so we need... Basically, this one that's a single, we need 3 of them. This one, which is... So we need 5 of these. So 2 and 5. Well, that's going to change things a bit. Right, let's find a blueprint that I can safely delete. Don't need that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Whoops. Three, 4, 5. Okay, I actually need 3 of these. Yep. So that is my new build, which is slightly shocking. So I hope I haven't miscalculated that, but we will run with it. Right, let's look at that again. Where was it? I wish there was a better way to keep track of blueprints, particularly these disposable. There we are. That's the old one. Get rid of that. Okay. There. Okay, so let's check. So that's not going to fit there because of the substation. We'll have to do this manually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that's that. Let's grab a load more boxes and arms. So having looked at how intimidating this build actually is, I'm beginning to wonder if it should have been much earlier in the high volume bit of the bus. Or if I've just miscalculated for so many other builds. Either way, it's a bit worrying. Okay, so there we are. So the next thing is we will head home and we will start deploying trains. Let's take this back home. And zoom out so that we can get a... Let's zoom out even further because we can. Get an appreciation for the awesomeness of the base. It's almost like flying over America at this point. Everything's a bit sort of big and cartoony. I don't know if you get that flying over the States. You just lose all sense of scale. Okay. For some reason I'm getting some VSync issues with the images chopping. Happens more zoomed out, but it happens all the time. So I'm wondering if there's some setting I haven't set correctly in the graphics options. I don't know. I'll have a look at that sometime. It's a bit annoying. That's the artillery train running out to the wall to resupply something that's shot off all its artillery. Every now and again there is a boom as the biters expand. And you can see this core base is still doing work. There's all these little mini trains running around, supplying the core base with iron and copper and other things to keep the furnaces going, to keep the modules produced. Lots of green and amber lights, that's all quite healthy. Okay, in we go. And I'm going to set this on manual. I probably do want to head back to that PAX, but not right now. Okay, so let's start deploying some trains. And I would like to get rid of all these. Alright, I would like to auto trash stone. I turned that off earlier when I was testing things, but I'm back to not wanting stone. I don't need these lasers. That's it. I only need one stack of pipes. Okay, I have plenty of trains, but no cargo. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is bring in advanced circuits. That's the red ones. So this is electric furnace advanced circuit. Copy that, put it on auto, then we'll put down a second train, and assuming I have copied it correctly, we can just paste the, yep. Great, so this is going to bring in steel. And then into electric furnaces. again, copy that. So everything has 2 incoming trains. That's the way this is set up. So there's, assuming we have enough upstream production, there's always 1 train buffered, ready to be unloaded. Okay, did I do 1 or 2 steel trains? I can't remember. Let's check. 2, that's good. So the last one is bricks. Okay, so this needs to go to stone bricks. Inventory full. Then to electric furnace, stone brick, inventory empty. Copy that, send it on its way. Then we will get 1 more of these. Paste in that schedule, get rid of my extra wagons. And send this off. Touch wood, I'm not getting any deadlocks in the train network. Things all seem to basically work. I've had the occasional deadlock on the perimeter wall. When I was building them, I put in loops all over the place to allow the train that I was building out with to circle back and get more supplies, which I didn't always signal properly because I was in a rush. So occasionally you can get deadlocks if there is a boom train in and there's a train coming in both directions past it. I think that's the condition. One day I will come along and I will tear up all the extra loops, but I just can't be bothered at the moment. That will probably happen at about the same time as either hell freezes over or I set up the boom trains to also carry repair packs and logistics drones. So, you know, you can take bets on when that'll be. Okay, up we go. So we are loading up stone bricks. Let's hop into the other train. It's got 14k of them. I can't remember what it goes up to. It might be 16. No. 32 then, maybe. It's taken forever. I didn't want to have too many inserters, so everything is roughly ratioed out for inserter speed. But it does mean that trains spend a while loading and unloading. Okay, here we go. And in. Okay, and we have steel. What we don't have is the advanced circuits. Let's figure out if we can... Okay, so the advanced circuits, both trains are waiting. Let's find out why. Ooh, that's not very good. So we have a deadlock. This ore train is trying to come down This one's trying to come down. So the issue is we have a copper which is not full. We can't get an ore train in because there are so many things requesting copper. Okay, and then there's copper ore coming in, which would satisfy that, but these... Okay, so the solution for this is we are going to add a second copper build behind this one, which will then free up a bunch of these trains, and we will leave that for next episode. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you again soon.